Never met your party. I love your hat. You're all looking great.
You know, what's so beautiful about the celebration is that, unlike previous celebrations that were just in one location, just like about here in Lawrence, in a way, we have multiplied the celebration to be in each one of your cities, in each of your homes, and you can invite your family to join you on screen whenever you'd like.
Don't be shy. Bring your mom on screen.
So all we did was just make more, just have more of these celebrations. So this is really fun, although, of course, we're missing you all in person. But this is really beautiful to be able to celebrate wherever we are. L'chaim to that. So let me tell you what to expect for this wonderful Torah celebration. Share screen, give me a minute. Now, those of you who have learned with me know that I am not so great with the tech part of Zoom. That's why we've got Zalman, who's a little bit better. And he'll be doing all that stuff. So we won't have any problems today. So I'll share a few words, and then we have a special message from Ziggy. Who is Ziggy? You will find out. I will not let in on that secret until you meet him. Then we will be hearing a fascinating message from Zalman. And then a special video presentation put together just for tonight, just for you. And then we will have words from our partner, Mr. Irv Robinson. Can you wave and tell us who you are so everyone knows who you are?
The old guy.
Welcome. We are thrilled to have you join us. And most importantly, we will have all of you hear your reflections, and we're looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you. I want to give a very big welcome to, in addition to Irv, we have two other honored guests with us tonight. We have Helene. Can you wave and tell us hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello, Helene. Welcome for joining us. And we have John Eisenberg. Can you say hello? Welcome, John Eisenberg.
I think you guys are freshmen or sophomores or something at KU.
Thank you for including me. Bye.
Awesome. So welcome, everybody. Notice how we called this celebration, in addition to graduation, I want to put the focus on the concept of celebration. Why celebration versus graduation? Molly, I always pick on you. You're so much fun to pick on. Can you tell me, when you hear the word graduation, what do you normally think of?
That you've completed something and you're being celebrated for it.
Exactly. You've completed it. You said it very well. You've completed something. This is not a graduation. This is a celebration, because each and every one of you here tonight, every single Sinai scholar member and every single JewishU member, you are not completing your learning and your Torah exploration. You are celebrating the fact that you have done this for a whole semester, but this will hopefully, and we encourage you to continue. So in no way is this a graduation, it's a celebration. And I want to talk about that for a minute. What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating? We are celebrating you. Benji, we're celebrating you. Ellie, we're celebrating you. Neil, we're celebrating you. Each and every one of you, we're celebrating you. My kids at home, we're celebrating you as well. I see they're on, but they're not on video screen. Welcome. So we're celebrating each and every one of you. What are we celebrating exactly? Number one, your dedication. Now, if I were a college student with the crazy pressures that goes on in your life and the exciting distractions, I guarantee you I would not be a Chabad doing JewishU or Sinai scholar. But you guys are not typical college students. You are unique. And each one of you have chosen that in addition to the pressures that you have and the responsibilities that you have, in addition to the distractions that are on Mastery or on.
Oh, God.
Whoops. Sorry, one second. Did you hear that? Oh, okay. In addition to all the distractions, you have chosen to dedicate your time and your commitment to joining JewishU or Sinai Scholars. So everyone pick up your hand, put it on your shoulder, and say, good job, me.
Good job, me.
Oh, yeah. You guys did an awesome job. Another thing we are celebrating is your connection. What do I mean by your connection? You have connected, by your dedication to learning Torah, you have connected with 3 different areas. You've connected with Torah. Unlike any other subject that you are going to learn, it will remain somewhat of a separate thing, although it will be ingrained within you. It's not going to be completely one with you. Torah is unique, that since it is truly part of your essence, when you learn it, you become one with Torah. So you are connecting with Torah. Now, what is the source of Torah? God. You are connecting with God with every Zoom that you've participated in and with every learning that you've come to, whether you've been fully, present or not. You've connected with God in a manner that you would not have doing volleyball or learning in school. Okay? So you've connected to Torah, you've connected to God. And most importantly, you've connected, you ready for this? Yourself. You've connected with your true self, your inner essence, and you deserve so much recognition for being a college student, taking the time, the dedication, and an extra applause for this time since spring break, because to get up and go on Zoom takes a lot of motivation. It's a lot easier just continuing to watch Netflix and just sitting in bed. Instead, you have to get up, make your face look semi-normal, and it takes a lot of motivation. So to all of you who put in that extra effort to join us on the Zoom classes, you've continued to complete your full course. Kol hakavod. Come on, to every single one of you.
Thank you, Nechama, for the beautiful words. And now,
Ziggy.
my friends, I invite you to sit back and relax as we have a very special message from our friend Ziggy. Here we go. Ziggy, are you here? Are you ready? Where's Ziggy? Can you see Ziggy? Here we go.
Do we have to wear this mask all day, Chuck?
Well, I could take yours off, Ziggy.
Call me Zalman.
Okay, Zalman.
Actually, call me Ziggy, and you should leave yours on, Chuck.
Germs?
No, this way we don't have to see your lips move. Hey, how are you, everyone? Good to see you.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the JewishU and Sinai Scholars at KU. Rock, Shock, Jayhawk. I see you got your hat on.
That's right, all my money went to KU.
Yeah.
It was a great place to be.
And why are we doing this?
Well, actually, Rabbi Zalman and his wife, Nechama, put us up to this.
Oh, they're always doing their kind of thing.
They wanted to just check in with everybody, make sure that you're healthy,
Yeah.
gesund.
Yeah. And making sure that you're Zooming all day and washing your hands 1,000 times a day and doing everything virtually.
That's right.
And they wanted to congratulate you on the graduation celebrations for JewishU and Sinai Scholars. Oh yeah, there's like 6 students and learning Torah all year. It's amazing. The Jayhawks are now the Jewhawks.
I love that. Did you make that one up?
No, Rabbi Zalman, that was his idea.
Oh yeah.
And the campus is closed.
That's right.
And I'm sure you all having fun quarantining with your parents and siblings. It's always a treat.
No, but you do what you have to do to adjust, and
then it all works out. And I'm sure the graduates miss walking down the hill for graduation.
But, you know, you had great memories
Yeah,
at KU,
yeah,
in the Chabad.
that's right. It's life changing.
That's right.
Oh yeah, you know what? And I want to shout out to Herb Robinson. Hey Herb, how are you? Thank you for being such a great supporter of this. This is amazing. They couldn't do it without you.
That's right.
And it's so beautiful how you're all learning Torah, and that's definitely the future of the Jewish people.
That's right.
So, what do you that you get to do this?
Well, the rabbi is a friend,
Yes,
and I am a,
hypnotist.
no, I'm a ventriloquist. If I were a hypnotist, I'd be putting the people watching all the JewishU and Sinai scholars to sleep.
Wake up, guys. Amazing. No, you're actually a machine.
No, you're very complimentary.
It's my job. I'm a dummy. What's your excuse?
No, I'm a,
Hypnotist.
no,
Machinist.
no, ventriloquist.
Really, do something.
Okay. Without me, you don't talk.
Without me, you don't eat.
That's right.
So, all the best. Congratulations, Mazel Tov. And we should social distance now.
You know anything about that?
I've been doing it my whole life. I live in a suitcase.
Okay, so you go this way,
I'll go this way.
and I'll go this way.
Congratulations, guys.
All right, round of applause for Ziggy. Thank you, Ziggy, for the beautiful words that you shared. Ziggy is a good friend of mine who lives in the suitcase, and he was very excited to give his special wishes to all of the Sinai scholars. As we continue on with the program, I want to take this opportunity to share with you a short story that has 3 parts. So here's the story. Sit back and relax and join me as I share with you this very special story of 3 parts. Part number 1. Once upon a time there lived a man. Does everybody see the picture on the screen?
Thumbs up if yes.
Thumbs up, you see? All right. This man was a great person. Besides the fact that he had a great choice fashion for good pair of glasses, he was also a very serious person. He was a great Torah scholar, but most importantly, he was also a Torah teacher. He was a teacher of Torah. His entire life was dedicated to teaching Torah. And the challenge he had was that he lived in a time and in a place where it was illegal to teach Torah. He lived in Russia in the 1930s. In the 1930s, under communist rule, it was illegal to teach Torah in the Soviet Union. And if you taught Torah in the Soviet Union, you can get into very big trouble. But he didn't stop. He would gather children together in his home, and he would teach them Torah. And every day, his friends would tell him, be careful. It's dangerous. They might catch you. You'll get into trouble. They'll send you to Siberia. And he said the same thing again and again, and that is, it is my responsibility to ensure that the Jewish people continue, and therefore I will teach Torah. And I ask you to look at the picture for a moment, and imagine this man, at the time of this picture, he was 40 years old, okay? And his entire life was dedicated to teaching Torah until one night in April of 1939. So it's just exactly the time that we're in right now. It was right after dinner time, and there was a very strong knock on the door. And there, opening the door, were 3 KGB agents from the Russian government. And they stood there, and they said, are you Mr. Yitzchak Raskin? He said, that's me. They said, you're under arrest for counter-revolutionary activities because you are teaching Torah to Jewish children and adults at a time when it is prohibited. And at that moment, he turned to his 3 daughters who were present in the room. They were ages of 12, 14, and 16. And he said to them the following line, and listen to the story. He said these words, I want you to continue doing exactly what they're taking me away for. And he was shot and killed 3 nights later. They never saw him again. It wasn't until 1991 when they found out exactly what happened to him. But all those years, they never knew what happened to this man. And I share the story with you because this man is my great-grandfather. And my grandmother, Sima, who my daughter Sima is named after, was the 12-year-old daughter who was present in that room. And my grandmother always told me, my father was killed for teaching Torah. I want you to teach Torah. And that's what we're all doing right now. But let's go on to the next part 2 of this story. Part 2 is Dr. Leo Beck in the concentration camp in the year 1943, just a few years after the previous story. And you see the faces in this picture. This was right at the time of liberation. You look at these faces of these Jewish souls who are suffering so much, and you think to yourself, how did they find joy in the concentration camp? How are they happy in the time of darkness? Well, you won't believe this, but the following text tells us something incredible. It may be hard to read, so I'll read it for you. Dr. Leo Beck says that in the middle of the night, in the barracks of the concentration camp, we would assemble in pitch darkness to light a candle or a match. To light a candle or a match would have brought immediate disaster. But nevertheless, in the midst of the darkness, I sensed lights, because the faces of those Jews were illuminated by an unearthly radiance as one was talking to them about matters of the spirit and the eternal questions about God, about Jews and the world, and about the eternity of Israel. And listening closely as he says the next line, he describes sitting in the concentration camp in the darkness of the night, knowing that if a Nazi walks in, they will be shot to death. What does he say? I sensed a light in that darkness, the light of the Torah. In the darkest of the nights, they continued to study Torah. And that is part 2 of the story. And part 3 of the story is you in Lawrence, Kansas, in the year 2020. Do you see yourselves in this picture, some of you guys, at the A Pie House? This is you doing the same thing that my grandfather did for what he was killed, and the same thing that Dr. Leo Beck did with the Jews in the concentration camp. You are doing it in Lawrence, Kansas, because you are recognizing that you are the Jewish future. So I want to conclude my story. It's a special l'chaim. One perk of doing it on Zoom is we could actually drink, because at Chabad we're dry, so we can't do any bottles. But here, this is my Zoom bottle. I'm almost done. There's been a lot of Zooms the last couple of weeks. So I want to say l'chaim to 3 people. My first l'chaim is to you. You, our dear students. I want to mirror what Nechama said. Each one of you are amazing. Amazing for being committed to Torah study, because you are the future. And for every single one of you, there's a 50% chance that your children will be Jewish, because you are committed to learning Torah. And every semester you do JewishU, your chances go up until you reach 100% that your children will continue to be part of the Jewish community. So my first l'chaim is to you, our dear students. My second l'chaim is to Irv for being the anchor. I know you hate attention, so I'll stop after this. But you really are the one who really has been behind making this happen, supporting this endeavor, believing in it. And all of us give you a toast. And finally, to our third leg, our third partner, and that is the Kansas City Jewish Federation, represented by Dr. Eileen Lautman, who is here. Thank you for being here and for supporting this important program. So everyone join me together as we raise our glasses. If your mom's in the room, take water. If your mom's not around, find some lubricants. And join me as we say L'chaim. Am Yisrael L'chaim. L'chaim. L'chaim, L'chaim.
L'chaim.
And now, my friends, we are ready for a very special video presentation featuring all of you. So I invite you to pay attention to the screen once again as we watch a special video which will bring us back to the entire wonderful semester that we shared together. Are you guys ready? Let me hear you. I need some noise. Can we unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Sit back and relax and enjoy. Torah, 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 Tiva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tiva. Come on, clap your hands, go! Good job, Emily. Susie. Laura. Yes, Molly. Sam. Baxter. Ethan. Neil. Check out those sunglasses. Oh yeah. And now when you see your name, everyone holler. Alex, Julian, Alexa, Andrew, Adam, Emily, Paige, Rich, Ari, Sam, Ellen, Susan, Brooke, Molly, Jake, Ethan, Jeremy, Jake, Connor, Mike, Sarah, Max, Ben, Ethan, Maxwell, Jared, Jay, Jackson, Jake, Jordan, Anna, Laura, Ethan, Sam, Dawson, Jacob, Mario, Jess, Allison, Neil, Patrick, Maxwell, Brandon, Michael, Daniel. Give yourselves a round of applause. We have to go through the names very quick because it's a lot of names. I must say that this was our, stop sharing. I don't know. Okay. This was our largest semester ever of JewishU studying Torah. So we have to rip through the names really quick, but it's unbelievable the amount of growth that we've seen. And I want to remind everybody, as the Chama said earlier, don't forget to sign up for next semester JewishU. We have many more exciting updates coming. And we have a very exciting update that Irv is working on with Zalman and Nechama, which we'll let you know about, which is going to take JewishU to a whole new level. So, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest presenter tonight who will share a few words. It's a very long bio, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can see it on the screen. The best way to summarize it, he's a mensch, and he loves the Jewish people, and he wants to make sure the Jewish people keep on going. And I'll be honest with you, Irv, I'm sure everybody here will agree that when we first sign up for Sinai Scholars and JewishU, a big part of it is the stipends. But by the time we finish Sinai Scholars and JewishU, we all want to continue because we even forgot about the stipend. It's the amazing Jewish learning. If you agree, please nod your head so I know if anybody agrees. That's what Jared told me today. I was studying with Jared Katzen today from JewishU, and he said to me, you know, Rabbi, when I first did this, it was the stipend. But now I want to continue because it's such amazing learning. So thank you, Irv, for being a big part of that. And please take it away. I would offer you from Scotch, but I know you got a better bottle at home.
Well, I'm drinking some wine, so it's okay. Thank you. So it's a privilege to celebrate with all of you from JewishU tonight. You know, it's not on the screen. I want to get, so it's Ella. I want to give a shout out to Ella Levy. Where she must be on the other. Where is she here? She's on
right in the middle.
I saw you. There's two screens, so I'm trying to find it. Where are you, Ella? Raise your hand. So
wave.
There you are. So I am almost sure you are the daughter of Cindy Levy, right?
No, that was Adina Levy.
Ah, Dina Levy, that's right. Okay, I already messed up.
Hi, Ella.
Darn. I was going to have you say hi to your mom for me. So anyway, okay, so I messed that up.
That's all right.
It is, I am so proud of you all, and it's such a privilege to be part of this program and to help support you and your endeavors. You know, you really have demonstrated two of the things that when I owned my company, I always looked for in people that I wanted to come to work for us. There were two attributes. There were more than two, but there were two important ones. And one of them was curiosity. In other words, people that were asking questions, that were wanting to learn and to see the world in a different way, and wanted to ask questions of themselves and wanted to ask questions of others. And your participation in this and your desire to do it and your choice to do it, because it was your choice. No one made you come here. You chose to be here. Shows me that you are naturally curious. And the other attribute that was always important for people that I wanted to be part of our organization was self-awareness. People that understood themselves, got to see them true selves, saw their strengths, saw their weaknesses, saw the things that they wanted to work on. They put themselves in positions in their careers to be successful because they played to their strengths. And when you study Torah, there's two things you have to do to study Torah. There's more than two, but there has to be two. One, you have to be curious. There's a lot of questions that you ask and get asked of you. And the other thing is, you can't study Torah without becoming more self-aware and being connected to more of your true self. And that is what will serve you so well way after you graduate from KU. You know, I try not to be jealous, because that's not a trait that usually is very helpful. But I have to tell you, I'm a little jealous of you, because I wish when I went to KU, and that was graduated in 1971, that there had been a KU Chabad in Lawrence, Kansas, and that there had been a Zalman and a Chama there to help guide and teach and encourage me. So you are truly fortunate for that. And I want to leave you with one other thought, because we talked about success. And the other thing about Torah and studying Torah is it does two things. It helps you be successful, and it helps you be happy. Those two things are not the same. You can be successful and not happy, and you can be happy and not successful. Success comes from what's given to you from the outer world. People will bestow success. You'll get a job, you'll get a promotion, you'll get more money, you'll get prestige. Those are all granted to you by the external world. Success is nice, but happy is even better. And happy is those times when you're all by yourself, no one else is around, and you're just dealing with your inner self. And when those are good feelings, that's when you are happy. And just because you're happy doesn't mean you'll be successful. Those are different attributes for success. And they're different attributes to be happy. But your investment in yourselves, in studying Torah and being closer to the one above, will help you both in being successful and happy. And I wish you all great success, and congratulations to you all.
Beautiful words. Success and happy. I will remember that. Okay, friends, we want to take this opportunity once again to thank Dr. Rotman for being here with us on behalf of the Jewish Federation, very special partners of KU Chabad. And we want to thank another dear friend of KU Chabad who's really invested in everything we do, and John Eisenberg. Thank you for your support and your love. And now we would like to open up the floor for all of you. There's a lot of you. So we're going to have the formal part of the program, which will be giving the opportunity for each of you to say a quick l'chaim and a reflection. And then afterwards, whoever wants to hang out, we'll have an informal farbrengen.
So we'll call on each one of you in no specific order, and would like to ask you to share a general reflection, and if you can, one specific thing that you can carry on practically in your life. Something that you can practically take on. You know, like Zalman said, the 3 stories, we're gonna add on the 4th story. The 4th story is you in the future. What are you going to do in a month from now that was inspired by JewishU or Sinai scholars? Okay, so general reflection and something that you can carry on with you in a very practical, inspirational way.
I'm so excited to hear your voices.
Yes.
Not everyone's here, so we're going to miss quite a few people, but if you're here, don't be shy. If you're really, really shy, you could do something you can only do on Zoom. You could shut your camera and speak, and we'll think it's a voice from heaven.
Alex Adler, are you here?
All right, shout out to Alex.
Yay. Jillian.
Woo!
Yes.
Go ahead, Jillian.
Give us a quick.
Screen. I was going to say floor, but you've got the whole screen.
So this was really fun and exciting. Cause like going into college, I'd been involved with like a lot of Jewish stuff, and then getting into college and not having some sort of like Jewish constant was like weird. But then like Chabad and Sinai scholars, kind of gave me that, and it was just cool to expand on previous Jewish education and talk about some other stuff that isn't like at the forefront maybe of like pre-college Jewish learning. And something like practical that like really stuck with me, I guess, was like the whole about finding purpose and the difference between purpose and meaning. Just kind of like talk about waking up every day and like decide like what's your purpose for that day. And I just thought that was kind of cool and inspirational and grounding. And that's a big thing that I'll take away.
Beautiful, Julian. Thank you very much.
L'chaim, l'chaim.
That's the alphabetical order.
Alexa. This is Alexa's fourth semester, right?
Wow.
Fourth semester being within JewishU or Sinai scholars. Am I correct?
Wow, what a telescope.
I can't exactly remember, but yeah, I have enjoyed another class this semester. I took Warrior to Warrior, and something I learned that I want to take away is that true guilt must be an outcome of change. And I wrote that down to remember it. So yes, I'm going to keep that with me.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Is Barry here with us? Shout out to Andrew. Adam Bidnick, are you here? Shout out to Adam. Emily Brunman, you're here. Yay. Go ahead, Emily.
Hi, everyone. I took Sinai Scholars this semester, which was really, really fun. And I came into college with a certain view about Judaism, and that was kind of altered with this class. There's more flexibility to Judaism than I realized, which is really interesting. And one, I guess, general takeaway, we haven't changed out our mezuzahs in 15 years. So we went through, we looked at all of them, and they all have issues. So that was really interesting to learn about. So thank you.
Wow.
You need to send your new ones? You got to wait to get them. We'll talk off air. We'll get you some new mezuzahs.
Yes, we got some. Thank you.
Excellent.
Wow. Unbelievable. Paige, are you here? I don't know if Paige is here, but a shout out to Paige. Mitch Castle, are you here?
Shout out to Mitchell. Ari Chago, are you here? Shout out to Ari. Sam Cohen, are you here? Shout out to Sam. Ellie, I think you're here somewhere. Go ahead.
Yes, Ellie, you're here.
Hi. So I was also in the Warrior to Warrior class, and I don't know, it's my first class, so I was really interested, and it was very, very helpful, I feel like, especially with the times that we're dealing with right now. No one knew this was going to happen, but it kind of connected with a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of like things about negative emotions. And I think like, yeah, taking this class really like, it came at a good spot in my life that I felt like it was really helpful. And I feel like specifically working with like guilt and letting go of like guilt that's not serving you and has no purpose. I think that was really helpful for me. So I will definitely be taking that into my future.
Beautiful. Okay,
Beautiful.
next.
Thank you.
Sinai Scholars and JewishU. Susie.
Hello.
Susie, how many classes did you take this semester? Remind us, because we lost track.
I don't know, a lot. This semester was like 3 JewishU and Sinai scholars, and I took this the last semester too.
You got to see Susie basically every single day.
Studying Torah.
I was at Chabad so much. But yeah, before I came to college, I never really like sat down and spent time studying Torah. And like when I was younger, you know, I didn't really like Hebrew school, any of that kind of stuff. But when I came to Chabad, you guys actually made it enjoyable, and you taught me that you know, learning Torah is a fun thing to do, and that it actually does apply to your life. And I don't know, I think a big part of my experience was you guys, Rabbi and Nahama, just making it a lot of fun. And one thing that I'm going to take away, I know people already said it, but I like the lesson about dealing with your guilt in a healthy way, and just that whole aspect of life.
Seems like Jewish guilt is really popular. I think it's supposed to be guilt and not guilt. You know what guilt means? Guilt is money in Yiddish.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you. Brooke, are you here?
No.
No. Okay, shout out to Brooke. Molly.
Hi.
Hi, Molly.
So I did a couple JewishU classes and Sinai scholars, and they were really fun because like we get to learn about things that aren't in a typical like school environment. And with that, like I get to learn all this material through like a different lens, like being like a Jewish lens. And like Susie said, like just like in my whole life, like I haven't had the time or like to learn about Torah and take classes. So coming to Chabad, it was really like interesting because it brought me like closer to my Jewish identity, and it allowed me to like make connections with like you guys and other Jewish people on campus. And my favorite thing that I learned throughout all my classes was actually learning about the mikveh, the class that Nahama taught. I thought it was really cool because I didn't like, it kind of made me feel like empowered to like be a Jewish woman. So that was really awesome.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Love it.
All right, Ethan Geller, I'm not sure if you're here. I know you had a big test tonight. Shout out to Ethan, who did quite a few classes. Jeremy Gatlin, are you here? Jeremy added a very special touch to our Sinai scholars. Shout out to Jeremy. Jake Gladstein, are you here? We'll call you by your real name. All right, shout out to Jake. We got to keep it kosher here, you know? All right, Kyle Golds, who's also done quite a few classes. Are you here? I think I saw you.
Here.
Go ahead, give us a takeaway.
I would just say that I enjoyed the classes, or I guess I was only in one this semester, but I enjoyed the class because like even being so distant and so far from everybody, it was so nice to see all the familiar faces and stay close with a lot of people who I'm friends with and I care about. So I would say that was the highlight. And then in terms of going forward, I would just say that since I've had more time on my hands, I've been able to do some more learning and like reading on my own, just reading online and stuff. So I would say like my goal for going forward is to just see, it's not hard. It's not like as big a time commitment as you'd think to study on your own, or not as difficult. You can like basically learn from anything. So I'm going to try and keep that going forward, even when all this is over, keep learning on my own some more. So.
Wow, beautiful. By the way, I want to mention on that note that Nahama and I were really not sure after KU decided to shut down. We weren't sure if we're going to continue JewishU, not because we didn't want to, because we thought no one's going to come online. And we set up, KU closed on Friday. We set up the Zoom, the website by Monday morning. And for the first class, everybody showed up. And it turned out that JewishU ended up keeping us together during this time, and Sinai Scholars, a great point.
And one of you even shared how JewishU classes, or was it Sinai Scholars, has been the anchor. It was something to look forward to and wake up to, knowing that there was actually something that was definite in their day.
Ryan Gold, are you here? Shout out to Ryan. Sam Goldman, waiting so patiently. Senior on the house, graduating tomorrow probably.
Nah, I'm here in the fall. You got one more semester to deal with me.
Thank God, Steve.
I was gonna offer to walk down the hill for you.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us.
I think one of the most important things that I learned from this experience. So I was in the JewishU class with API, and we talked about some pretty serious and heavy topics at times. And I think it was really important to, one, not only share my perspective with other people, but for me to also hear other people's perspectives, because oftentimes we really only think of ourselves and we only think of, it's my way or the highway. But it was really nice to hear some of my friends' perspectives on things that I don't know if I would have been able to hear them or hear about them if we weren't in this class together. And one major takeaway, or one thing moving forward, is how in our class we talk a lot about love and relationships. And one thing that I took from it and what I evaluate is kind of, looking at my own relationship, how I feel about my partner, or making sure that it's thinking about Jewish aspects. And Zalman had a great class on evaluating that, and that's something that I definitely learned from, and I'm going to take away moving forward.
Lots of apples, no cookies.
Exactly.
Beautiful. All right, Scott Harris, who did 2 classes this semester.
Yeah, I did the Warrior to Warrior class and the API Jewish Studies class. I guess the thing I took out most from either class is the afterlife section we did in the API Jewish study class. Sadly, I had to go through a loss, not through Corona. My grandfather just passed away a few weeks ago. So that section that Zalman talked about with the afterlife, it really, it was spot on. Zalman told us about how, he needs to see one more person, then he'll, the spirit will slowly, leave the body. It was, spot on. So that one touched with me and helped me even, cope better. So, yeah, that's a big, broad thing that I got out of these classes.
Thank you for sharing, Scott, and may you only have good times forward. Okay, Tali, are you here, Tali? All right, shout out to Tali. We want to give a shout out to another senior, Max Hearing, who not only joined the class, but made sure we always had a good joke and some good humor. Hopefully he's here. I saw him before.
He's here.
I'm here.
Make some noise. Tell us.
Yeah. The camera, it ruins my humor. So I don't know. It's gone now.
Okay, good.
The lack of stand-up comedy has ruined my humor. But this is my first JewishU class. But I did do Sinai Scholars about 2 years ago. And I mean, I came into KU with certain feelings about Judaism that were just not very positive. And I think through Chabad and Sinai Scholars and this and just other, people reframing Judaism for me and, it's kind of and Zalman, you encouraging me to make my Judaism be my own and just all that stuff. It really helped me, think of Judaism positively and as more of an anchor in my life and not something that I have to feel, resentful about.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. L'chaim, brother. All right, all the way to Lawrence, Kansas. Ben Holiday. I know you.
Yeah, so I was in the Sinai Scholars class this year, and before coming to KU, basically the most Jewish thing I had done was my bar mitzvah, and that was almost 7 years ago, and since then I haven't done much.
What's wrong with your bar mitzvah?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but yeah, so doing this really got me in touch more with my Judaism and made me think about things that I do in a different perspective. So I thought that really helped me a lot.
Beautiful, thank you. And I must say that Ben Holiday was the first Sinai scholar and JewishU student who had the privilege of doing his bar mitzvah too. So we go a long way back. All right, Ethan Kahn, I know you're here.
Yeah, hello. I took the API JewishU class and it was awesome. It was really great to have every week time to just talk about Jewish ideas and values with other Jews. You don't always have that opportunity in college. So it was awesome to have that. And a takeaway from the classes was I will love I. I still remember that class and it was a great message.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Is Jared here? We just did it today, Jared, right? All right, let's move on. A couple more.
Oh wait, I'm here.
All right, Jared, go
I'm
for
here the whole time. So I took the AEPI JewishU class, and before coming to KU for my freshman year, I was in Monday night school like all the way through graduation, and I hated it. I was one of those kids that just messed around, didn't take it seriously at all. Thought it was something my parents were making me do and graduate from because they did it, then I had to do it. But when I started JewishU, it was more than just the stipend in the end. And it was really beneficial to talk about like adult topics in Judaism that you wouldn't get to discuss in a religious school back home in high school. And to do that with my boys, the API brothers, was really fun, really great, and I learned a lot. And I'll take what I'm going to take away from it is, to take advantage of every Fabring you get with the people you hang with at school and are friends with. So I can't wait to get back in the fall.
Amen. Let's say amen to that. Back in the fall. Back in the fall. Back in the fall. Listening, God? All right. Maxwell Kasdan, I don't know if he's here. Let's see him. Jay Kaufman, was he here? I think I saw him before. I think he's still having dinner together with Kirsch. All right. Jackson King, is you here? Okay, we want to give a special thank you to those who were able to come. I know it was an effort. Jay Kirsch, we mentioned, Jordan Kaluva. Ella, who's here?
Mama Kirsch is here.
Kirsch is here.
Yeah.
Give us a l'chaim. Tell us the takeaway.
I guess a takeaway that I have.
On camera.
Oh, Stern is here too. All right, good.
I guess coming into this class, I did the JewishU class, the API. There's many things that I haven't really learned about, and like afterlife and relationships and all that stuff. So getting to learn about all that kind of just gives me a better insight and better knowledge of what kind of is out there in the Jewish world.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kirsch. Let's move on to Ella Levy.
Hi. I took the Jewish class of why, and Judaism is such a big part of my identity, and really getting to ask why we do all the things that we do. It's not an opportunity that you get a lot. Growing up, it's a lot of you just do this because you're supposed to. So being able to know why we do this and why it's important to keep this alive, not just for our generation, but future generations, is something that's completely priceless. And I can't believe I got to experience this in Kansas.
Beautiful. Let's continue on with Laura. Laura, you did Sinai Scholars and JewishU this semester, or last whatever.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just in Sinai Scholars this semester, but I've done 2 or 3 JewishU classes in the past. It was always my goal. What?
Give us a takeaway. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. But basically, one of my goals while I was at KU, since I'll be in nursing school in the fall, was to take Sinai Scholars. I am so glad that I did. And when the coronavirus happened, we were having to be put online and everything. I was kind of struggling with adapting to that. And then one of the first classes that we had when we came back was about sensitivity to change, and talking about that just really helped me cope and adapt. So that's just something I'll take with me, because I love not necessarily things being rigid a schedule, but that kind of helped me adapt more. So I'll definitely take that way into the future, because I know nothing can be scheduled, and you're always going to be prepared for random things to happen. So that's one thing that I'll really take away with me, is to cope.
I'm sure everybody really agrees with that. That is super relevant.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Move on to Ethan Matzel, the Israel course. Where are you?
Hello. Yeah, I was in the Israel course. I really enjoyed the fact that I was able to take a class that wasn't related to my major and still be able to learn in college outside of school with my fellow Jews, which is always fun. And a takeaway was just keep learning about Israel, because there's always more to learn, because I learned about some of the issues related to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that I hadn't known before. So that was pretty cool.
Thank you, Ethan. We just have a few more people. Actually, perfect timing. We'll finish right at 9. Sam Matzel, I did not see, but shout out to Sam, who's also graduating this week. Dawson Miller, is he here? Shout out to Dawson. Jacob Phillips, is he on? Shout out to Gnomes, all right. Ariel Putterman, I think I saw you before.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Take it away, brother.
So I took the API JewishU class, and I had a really good time. The first thing I liked is that I got to do it with a lot of my Jewish API brothers like Michael Wasserman, Jared Katzen, and just being able to talk about things that I wouldn't really get to talk about with my rabbi or any Jewish leaders because they were uncomfortable topics like sex, drugs, alcohol, stuff like that. So I really enjoyed having Zalman teach us about these things and educate me on the Jewish stance of all this.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I love the beard.
Thank you.
You know, I'm biased a little bit, you know. All right, we want to give a very special shout out to somebody who was extremely dedicated and committed to the success of JewishU and Sinai Scholars this semester. Not only she took many classes, she also was the person behind keeping everything going smooth. Let's give a big round of applause to our student leader and coordinator of JewishU and Sinai Scholars.
Jess was really on top of it, and I want to say that as after this whole Corona thing hit, she was still even more on top of it, constantly checking in. Are we having a class? Are we having a class? And I was amazed that she could have let go and say, "Listen, it's too much for me," but she didn't. She took it on, and it was hard. So thank you very much, Jess.
You're welcome. So I kind of wrote like a little thing, but it's very short. So I said, I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I know this is not how it was planned, but thank you to everyone that has cooperated during these hard times. Taking these classes is always one of the highlights of my semester. This semester, I was lucky enough to be the coordinator and also I took all the classes except for the voice class. For the people that have taken Sinai Scholars, I encourage you to do JewishU and continue your learn. And I encourage the people that did JewishU, if you haven't taken Sinai Scholars, to also look into that. Sorry, I lost my spot. I encourage you to continue taking more classes that are offered in the future. Thank you, Zalman and Nechama, for always being an inspiration to all, because without you, we would not be here. And one takeaway from this semester, I mean, usually every semester, but is to continue learning. Like, I feel every semester I continue to take classes because they're just so interesting, and I just love to keep learning. So,
Wow. Everyone can unmute and give a big round of applause for Jeff.
All right.
Thank you.
Allison.
Okay. Well, I was never really that Jewish. And my friends, Laura and Emily, kind of forced me to do this. So, like, I don't know. It was kind of nice. I kind of ended up liking it. So that's probably a takeaway. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison.
All right. Neil Rosen is also graduating this week. Mazel tov.
Thank you. So I guess my takeaway actually ties into the fact that I'm graduating. I took the Jewish course of why, which we delved into a lot of topics about why we do certain things in Judaism, and there were so many little things to learn, little things, big things, that it occurred to me that I'm never going to stop learning about Judaism. So I can combine that with me leaving for graduation, that as I go through my life, the learning doesn't stop.
Beautiful. Mazel tov again. All right, Benji Rubin, I hope you're still here. I got to hear you, brother. Did we lose him? All right, he dropped off. He was here before. Shout out to Benji Rubin, who was a great asset to the discussion. All right, Maxwell Schwartz, who really was behind the API program, the master of the house. Shout out to Maxwell. I know Ryan is here. I saw Ryan before, Speckman.
Yeah.
All right.
So basically, first off, thank you, JewishU and Rabbi Zalman, for making this a possibility to have comfortable and engaging space to take a deeper dive into learning Jewish values and beliefs. I was lucky to participate in 2 classes this semester, which were the API class and the Warrior to Warrior class. and I was able to pull benefits and new learnings from each. I'm appreciative of the preparation and smooth transition each you, Rabbi Zalman and Nechama, were able to provide us, giving us the best education possible with these circumstances. And I certainly look forward to expanding my knowledge of Judaism and sharing that among my colleagues in future semesters.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Ryan, for the beautiful words. Brandon Solansky, who's not here. Michael Turman, I don't believe is there either. Leo Wax, shout out to her as well. Daniel Waxberg, I know you're here.
Yes. So I chose to take the API JewishU class, and I initially chose it because all the API brothers were going to be on it, but little did I realize that it was actually a way for me to reconnect to my Judaism, and because of it, I found a deeper meaning to my Judaism and want to keep learning with it, and I'm going to continue to take these classes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Daniel. And now we would like to ask next API brother, Michael Wasserman.
So I took the API class, and my favorite part of the class was honestly listening to Zalman's perspective, because he would teach from his perspective. He would teach from like an Orthodox, like textbook perspective. And then I also enjoyed listening to my brother's different perspectives because they're all from all over the place. And in the future, I would like to continue just like Jewish dialogue with Zalman, whether that is in a class or just like a one-on-one thing, because I think that Zalman's a very interesting man to talk to. So
I agree.
Thank you, brother. I'm humbled.
Zalman, you forgot Stern.
David Marks, Sinai Scholars, all the way from sunny California.
Yeah, so this is my first semester doing the whole Sinai Scholar thing, and I haven't really had an opportunity to have the whole in-class like Jewish discussion since 8th grade when I did Hebrew school and Sunday school. And I was fortunate enough to meet a bunch of people like Jake Neefield and Julia Rothstein, who are some very active members in the Jewish community here, who recommended I check out the whole Chabad house and learn about all these different opportunities. And I was told a week before Sinai Scholars started all about this whole process. And I was very curious going into it. It was definitely something I wasn't planning for, something I wasn't I didn't have the whole thing laid out for me almost. And so it was a whole deep dive into it. And it was definitely a great experience. One of the most memorable experiences, especially with what's going on with this pandemic and stuff like that. Something I'll definitely take away. So yeah, thank you so much to the both of you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, David. All right, Jordan.
Hi. So this was my first semester doing I did Sinai Scholars, and I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Like having the ability to kind of like talk about some of these like Jewish issues in a different way than I could in like Hebrew school or even in like BBYO, and just having like a Jewish outlet was really valuable to me.
Thank you, Jordan. Okay, we're almost done. We have just, I think, 2-3 more. It's Jacob Stern. Still there?
I actually thought you skipped over me there for a second when you skipped Waxberg.
I saved the best for the last, brother.
But I value Waxberg more than myself as well, so I can appreciate that. I would say one thing that I took away from this is that while I didn't necessarily agree with everything we talked about, I think that's more than okay. And the class allowed me to believe that that was okay. So I thank you for that. And that's about all I got. I look forward to our discussion this week.
Thank you very much. Now, I don't think I missed anybody, but if I did, please don't be shy.
Is there anyone who didn't speak yet? Anyone that we missed by mistake?
We got everybody? All right, friends?
We missed Neil.
No, we heard Neil.
Neil spoke.
Okay.
You're with him as he moves on.
Right.
All right, so I'd like to take this opportunity to ask Eileen to close us off with a farewell l'chaim. I'm sure you have some good bottles in your house too, otherwise I would offer you some. And
yes, I do. Thank you. I do. And I indulge as well. Saying lots of l'chaims for our healthy life, for our health, for our ability to learn and to be inspired by people like the two of you. You've done the same thing for me that I could have echoed every one of the students. You've impacted so many lives here in this area, and I'm just so grateful. Speaking for Federation, I'm just proud that we support this program, and I'm proud of all the students. So thank you for inviting me to be part of it.
Chaim, and we're actually proud to mention, I don't know if you students know, guys, that this year JewishU won an award as the best program of the year from the Jewish Federation. So you're all part of that success.
Yes.
Join me in your best bar mitzvah voice that we sing together. Cementavo, mazel tavo, mazel.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. Hey.
Oh, that's all, Israel. Okay, friends, the formal part of the program has ended. However, I have some left in my cup. So everyone to stick around. We can finish up the l'chaim here, the Farbrengen.
Oh, wait. Let me get some more.
Thank you.
Hey, there he is.
Thank you for joining us. We're so proud of all of you for making the effort to come. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm so sorry. Those of you who are in JewishU, an email is going out tomorrow morning. If you haven't yet had a chance to fill out the form for how you want to do your credit, your stipend, it's going out tomorrow. So Jess, you can post a reminder because don't people ask that tomorrow an email is going out. People could click the link and choose how they want to cash their stipend credits. All right, l'chaim, l'chaim.
Thank you so much.
If you have any other questions, let me know.
Yes.
More Jewish learning.
Oh.
Woo. Bye, everyone.
Bye. You're not being rude if you got to go. I'm just finishing my glass over there. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim Rose. L'chaim John, l'chaim Neil for graduating this week. L'chaim Ryan for a beautiful speech.
That was nice, Ryan.
Nice. Get off camera, Max. We want to see you.
I'm here. Hi.
Those of you who are still here, I want to tell you something. Max Hearing told me one line on Yom Kippur this year I'll never forget. This year on Yom Kippur, he comes over to me and he says, you know what I realized? I have to create my own brand, my own Judaism. I can't walk around wearing the label of my parents. I can't walk around wearing the tag from my great uncle. I have to brand my own Judaism. And that was a line you told me Yom Kippur, you remember? After Menachem. That stuck with me, and I kept
awesome.
Make your own brand. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
I am.
L'chaim to Irv, and to John, and to Ryan, and to Neil. I am so moved by the beautiful, beautiful words we heard tonight. And every person I saw on that screen was not just them. It was their children and their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren that are all part of this. L'chaim.
L'chaim. It was great to hear from the students. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you for being here. And for, I didn't mention, but Irv, Nechama and I are very excited about this new idea of maybe the idea of having, of making a student into a co-teacher and getting an extra stipend and kind of doing the low, unbelievable. Empowerment. Some new ideas.
Good. I think it has potential.
You could have had the whole wine club here. This is amazing.
That's right. Why not?
So Nechama, this is my life. I sit at this desk, and I get to sit with this man and with this man, and life is great.
He always comes back in a happy mood from those days. I'm telling you.
We do too. Okay, so
the highlight of his week, the highlight of his day.
So I'll tell you what Rabbi Akiva said. Everything I have and everything you have is from her. So while I'm here, she's my inspiration. So
I believe that. I believe that. No doubt.
All right.
I want to say just one thing it was not appropriate for me to say in this group. I feel very, very positive tonight because of your two work and love and dedication. The opportunities for a strong Jewish future and continuity has been created. Thank you very much.
I agree. L'chaim. L'chaim.
Words and Irv, your words were very profound tonight. On the mark.
Well, we couldn't, we can't do what we do without you. So thank you. It's a partnership. Thank you.
You know,
guys-
and
you
the
guys
best
are under-
partnership is that everybody wins. I always get more than I give. That's the way it works. And thank you for allowing me to be part of this tonight and for the program, because listening to the kids and to the students and the difference that it made in their lives and how they think differently and connect differently to their Judaism, maybe for the first time in many, many years, you know, makes my heart sing.
Each one of these kids is a whole story. Each one of these kids is a world in itself with their own, you know, their own baggage and their own journeys. And it's amazing to see how Torah just permeates and really makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Be
well.
Thanks for coming. Really means a lot.
Safe for sure.
Last minute notice.
See you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Good night.